Yeah.
All right, questions for Jacob Frost.
I guess how has it felt, this year getting into the lineup and getting a taste of college wrestling? Not only that, but you get to go to the CKLV where it's as hard as anywhere except for maybe NCAAs.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. Just getting any opportunity out there, just going out and wrestling and representing the Cyclones feel good. So.
Making your Cliff Keen debut with your brother, was that special for you?
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool. I didn't really get to watch too many of his matches just because I was warming up, and in the past I've focused more on his matches than actually warming up for mine. So I didn't really get to watch too many of his, but yeah, it was cool. I liked it.
He said you wrestled a lot. Just what did you take from it? Like, hey, I did this really well, and maybe here I want to build off of, improve A, B, and C as well.
Yeah, I mean, I got, I think, 6 matches or so there's a lot I could pull from that. I was working today with Coach St. John, just some little details I have to fix, but yeah, I learned a lot of different things from that, just as far as mindset goes and tournament setting and just getting more experience. So.
How nice is it to be the twin brother that wrestles up a weight instead of down a weight?
I wouldn't say it's too much better. I'm a little bit bigger than he is, so we're pulling a little bit pretty similar weight. So, I mean, it's not much more fun, honestly. But yeah, it's cool because I get to watch him sometimes. But yeah.
Obviously, I mean, you and Evan, we said it ad nauseum today, but you guys do everything together. So how was it last year when you guys do something a little differently where Evan's full time in the lineup, you're battling for a spot going through that?
I mean, we worked out all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We did all the same stuff pretty much still, other than the fact that he would go to tournaments and then I'd be here training or rehabbing or pretty much whatever I was doing. But we were still texting, so I knew he would get to an arena or get to the hotel or something when he would start sending me TikToks and Instagram reels and all that stuff. So I didn't really need to ask him about what he's doing. I always pretty much knew what he was doing. But yeah, we were training together, and same schedule, other than the fact that he was the guy and I wasn't at the time. So
what was his word of advice a little bit this year when you go into the CKLV where he got to experience that last year and then you were coming in?
Yeah, I mean, he just told me it was tough. Be ready to go, and he said just make the most of my opportunity, pretty much. So
When he was asked about how you were introduced to wrestling, he said 6, 7, or 8 years old. Can you nail it down any better? 6, 7, or 8 years old?
No.
About the same?
Yeah, it's somewhere up in there. I don't really know, to be honest.
But
I'm sure my mom knows.
What do you remember about that? Because obviously you had many unstructured scraps at home, like you were just asking about, and then to have the structure, it probably, maybe mom, breathes a sigh of relief, a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's really what it was. Our older brother did it, so I'm sure he said the same thing. Our older brother did it with one of his friends, so I'm sure our mom just sent us in there for a little energy release, because I'm sure it was pretty chaotic for her at the house with all of us just beating each other up. So yeah, I think that's what it was.
Anytime that she ever locked you guys in a room and said "duke it out" when you guys were mad?
No, she didn't. She doesn't really like us, or she didn't like us wrestling each other really, and obviously fighting at the house too much. That's why I ended up always wrestling a weight class above him. Well, we wrestled each other way back in the day for a little bit, but she didn't like that too much, so we split eventually.
Any fond memories from your childhood about wrestling?
I wouldn't say it was much more of wrestling now that you say that, but first thing kind of pops up is us two would wrestle our older brother. So it'd be a little bit of 2v1 situation. And it wasn't much wrestling going on. It was more like WWE, but he hit puberty and got a little bigger, so he was able to take us out pretty easily.
How much older is he?
He's 2.5 years.
Okay.
He's 23. We're 21, so 2.5, somewhere up there.
His name?
Cameron.
Cameron. Okay.
Yep. He's a big guy.
Usual spelling, O-N at the end?
Yeah. He's about 6 foot, 200 pounds, so he's a big dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Talk about daily life in the wrestling room. A lot of great middleweights on the Iowa State roster. What's your life like in the training room?
I don't ever run out of partners. I can go with a different guy every day of the week, pretty much. Obviously, we had some injuries going around, but yeah, I got a lot of different guys to scrap with, and obviously they all have really good feels. So.
What are you looking forward to Humboldt on Sunday?
I never wrestled in there, but it's a really intimate environment. I went there the past 2 years. The fans, it's just a fun environment. Fans are pretty much like right on you, so yeah, it should be pretty fun.
You were in the dual lineup once last season. What kind of what can you draw from that experience just looking into Sunday?
Pretty much the same thing. I mean, I just got to get in my routine and just be ready to go. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different than wrestling in Hilton, but I mean, it's the same thing. We're just out there wrestling, so I mean, nothing too much different.
Is that an environment you like more, where it's maybe a smaller gym as opposed to a huge environment at Hilton?
I mean, I like wrestling at Hilton. I've never wrestled at Humboldt, but watching the two, I'd say probably wrestling at Hilton. But I guess we'll find out. We'll see if my answer changes.
As the team navigates injuries, like you said, and all the movement around the lineup, how are you guys staying motivated and focusing on just, I guess, winning?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of our guys are competitors, so obviously the main goal is to win and just keep getting better at wrestling. But I think a lot of our guys are looking forward to March. So just with that goal in mind, just ended up on the podium at the end of the year. I think that's what's kind of keeping our guys going.
Thanks, Jacob.
All right, thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, Jacob.
Appreciate your time.